Hey everyone, I thought I'd make a quick video. It's been a while since I checked in with you all. The Packers have had a tough season so far. Now my absence has not been because I'm frustrated with the Packers and the team. I certainly would like to do more videos on occasion, but things have been busy, and you know, we kind of weigh what we do with our free time, and we try to use it smart. So in any case, frustrating season. We knew there was going to be a lot of highs and lows. So far there's been a little more lows than we expected, and the players aren't quite developing as fast as we want them to. But there's no reason to throw in the towel and not continue supporting this team, watching this team, and having discussions about the team. In fact, when they're playing bad, there's a lot of drama. There's a lot to talk about. So those who do content creation, I highly recommend you continue doing so, because there's a lot of meat on that bone. Anyway, game against the Steelers, game we could have won. Lots of reasons for that. I'm not going to nitpick every single play or go through a lot on this game, but I just wanted to cover a couple things I thought were both good and bad in this game. One thing I liked with this game was the pass protection. I thought the offensive line did an excellent job protecting Jordan Love, and the Steelers' stud pass rushers only got one sack. And I believe the one sack TJ Watt got was a coverage sack. So that looked really good. I was very happy to see that. On the other hand, what I thought wasn't very good was the run blocking. Now, the Packers did have some decent stats for the running attack, but the majority of that was the 40-yard run that A.J. Dillon had. If you take away that run, you will see that statistically the run game was subpar. So I'd like to see that cleaned up. I'd like to see maybe Sean Rhyan get some playing time ahead of Runyon. According to others in the know, Runyon is kind of the lowest ranked offensive lineman we've had this year. So let's see if this young buck can get in there and improve the run blocking. Another positive in this game, I thought Jordan Love played pretty good. The two interceptions he had were near the end of the game, where he was forcing it into places where he shouldn't have been. But he was trying to make a play. I thought his accuracy was a little better. The deep ball to Jayden Reed was excellent. And I see continued improvement. I really hope to see a little more improvement with the accuracy and the speed at which Jordan Love processes what's happening in real time. But I'm not going to go through and nitpick every little thing about Jordan Love like a lot of people like to do. I see some promise, and I think he can be a really good quarterback in this league. Time will tell. On the bad side of things, we'll go over to the defensive side, and I'm going to tell you, the tackling was atrocious. I mean, everyone is saying how bad the tackling was, and what's become obvious with the Packers is that the guys they bring into the defense, the guys they draft, are not out of the box good tacklers. In this day in the NFL, it's really hard to develop the skills of tackling. You either have it coming into the league or you don't. It's one of those things that if you don't have it by the time you're a pro, it's unlikely that you're going to become a good tackler in the league. Another thing that I was thinking about is that Packers like to draft really fast players, especially on defense. Actually, everywhere they like fast guys. But on the defensive side of the ball, I think speed is slightly overrated. And the reason I say that is that I think you get guys with incredible speed, they are not always the best at breaking down and controlling their body when they're running up to make tackles. You see a lot of the defensive backs are running up full charge towards the ball carrier and they're whiffing, or they're out of a bad position, or they're easily juked. So I think some of that speed can be a detriment if you don't have that God-given ability to break it down and control your body. I could be wrong, but that's just what I see to my eyes. The last good thing I want to talk about is, I think some of these rookies are making some plays. And I really like to see that. That's very encouraging. I thought Musgrave, that big catch down the middle, was an excellent catch. He did a good job of controlling his body just to get that pass that was thrown slightly behind him. Of course, he did stumble out of the catch a little bit, as he is prone to do, but like I said, since the ball was not perfectly on the money, he had to make an adjustment there. You hit Musgrave in stride there, and that could be a touchdown. I also really like what I saw out of Reed. He had a great day, probably the best wide receiver Packers had yesterday. I mean, he's going to be a great player, I think. I think of the receivers we have, he's one of the best at getting open and controlling his body, and also making tough contested catches. He's probably the best at it, but yeah, there's going to be room for improvement. There's going to be room for improvement everywhere, and that's what this season is about. These players are going to develop and become better, or they're not. And if they don't get better really quick, I think LaFleur and Gutekunst are going to be on the hot seat next year, and that should get Gutekunst to go out and get some free agents and draft players who are out of the box ready to play football. In my opinion, I think he has to change his style of drafting and stop drafting for upside. Start drafting some football players, man. Because this league is about playing and playing quick. There is no time to develop. By the time you develop a player 2-3 years down the road, they're already in position to get that big next contract. The key to managing the salary cap and striking while the iron is hot is getting players who can perform right away when they get in the league on cheap contracts, especially at the quarterback position. Once you have to start paying these dudes 30, 40, 50 million a year, eating up a huge chunk of your salary cap, that becomes difficult to get competitive for a Super Bowl. So, anyway, those are my thoughts on the game. No moral victories, but I enjoyed the game. It was a good game, and I see some promise. And I'm not going to sweat the record this year. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Hope to talk soon. Later.